Hey guys, this is Rudy Banks. I want to welcome you back to my channel. Today I'm going to share a quick tip about podcasting. I started my online business, my offline business. I've been in corporate America about 14 plus years, and as of 8 months ago, I walked away from it all. So one of the things that I do now is I have a podcast, and I used to look at a lot of guys back in the day, Entrepreneur on Fire, and I would listen to those things, and I attempted to do a podcast years ago, but I never really found the right workflow, and it was very complicated. A lot of things you had to have in place to do this thing. So as of now, Gary Vee has been talking a lot about Anchor. So today, really, I just want to talk about Anchor and how easy it is to put a podcast together. I just finished recording a podcast. I'll show you my workflow. It's a little bit more in depth than just the standard recording, but I just want to show you how simple it is to work with Anchor. I'm going to switch you on over. So here you're looking at Anchor.fm and / Rudy Banks. So this is my podcast. So I'll encourage you to go over there. And it's syndicated on iTunes and a couple other platforms. So you can easily find it. If you use apps like Stitcher and podcast app, you can find my podcast there. And my whole podcast is really to inspire others. For someone to walk away from I would say, successful career, had income, did all that stuff, engineering, management, and to be able to now share with the world and document my journey. I just really want to give back and kind of document the process, because most people say success is not about the destination, it's more about that journey, and that's what I'm doing. So hopefully there's some content in here that, I know there's content in here. Check out episode 10. If you just need a morning wake-up call or something, a morning boost in the morning, listen to episode 10. That'll get you fired up. But I can't believe it. I decided to finally do this thing, and I'm getting ready to post episode 17. So if I can do this, you start with your welcome message, and I'm going to show you in a second how easy this is to put together. And that's on the desktop. I'm going to pull up the app on my phone. All right, when you first pull it up, let me do it this way. So when you first pull the app up, you can see, if you can see that, but basically that's what it looks like. And it allows you to comment. You just start recording. So you don't even need a special microphone, anything. You just hit record and start talking to your phone. It's that simple. There's canned music clips in here, so if you need sound effects and things like that, it's easy to do that. You create a basic profile, and you're up and running. Now, what I do to kind of add a little bit more, because I'm a musician, so I'm big on sound quality. Nothing wrong with talking to the phone, but I like the fact that I can, wear a microphone. So what I use, let me go back. What I use is a headset microphone, so I don't have to worry about trying to keep the phone in front of me or on my desk or anything like that. So I use a Shure, and it's a beta. So I actually have the Focusrite sound card, so I'm actually using audio equipment. So I put this on, plug that in, and I start recording. I actually use a free app called Audacity, because all I'm doing is just recording some basic audio. And then when I'm done, I just record like the intro.
The Entrepreneur Journey Podcast, episode 17.
I always do that, and then I just start my episode, and this is what it sounds like.
Hey guys, this is Rudy Banks. Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Journey Podcast.
And what I do to kind of treat the audio a little bit, just to make it sound a little better. So I put a little bit of reverb effect on it, just to kind of polish it a little bit more. You can play with reverb and chorus and almost make it sound like your local radio station at Hot 99 or Hot 100, 101, whatever your station is. And so that's the way that I do it. So I'll export the first chunk. I'll export that selection. So I'll go in here. I'll grab it. I'll grab this selection here, and I'll do export selected audio. And then I just save it as an MP3, and I name it. So my intros will be episode number intro. And then I'll take and select this whole piece here, and I will save that, and I'll give it a name. So what I'm about to show you, just how easy this is to get it up and going. So I'm gonna go back to my dashboard, and it shows me, how many plays I've had, the number of plays per episode, and it's cool. It's cool to get your message out. You load your thumbnail. I went on Canva, just created a square, logo for my podcast. You could always change this, and you talk a little bit about your podcast and your profile. What you're about. I'm talking about my success journey from an entrepreneur, starting from, leaving corporate America. And then you can put some links in your profile. All right, so now I'm getting ready to upload a new episode. So I'll go to new episode. I'm gonna do upload. I'm gonna go to my podcast folder, episode 17 intro, episode 17 Rich Poor Dad lesson. So this one I talked about the importance of the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I read that book probably, 2000. I read that book 16 years ago, and it really changed my life from a financial perspective, investing, planting next seed of, stepping into, an investor, business owner. You don't have to be an employee the rest of your life. There's nothing wrong with being an employee, but take those lessons learned and, the processes and the finance, the culture, and roll it up into your own business, and you're off on your own, and you're off to the races. So, not to get too far off topic, but all right. So I loaded my 2 clips in, and what I always do, I go to transition. So if I want to pick some audio, I'll pick one of these. Let's see. So I'll grab something like that, just hit the plus sign, hit it twice, and I'll just put that in there. So now when someone goes to my podcast, they'll hear the intro.
The Entrepreneur Journey.
You'll hear this, and then it'll go
Hey guys,
to that.
this is Rudy Banks. Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Journey podcast.
And then it'll go right through that, and it's done. That's it. I'll save my episode. I've gotten a habit of going to the advanced settings, and I'll actually put the number of the episode in. So I'll put 17, because you could have multiple seasons. So this is 2018. If I go to 2019, I could change this to season 2, so people can keep up with me. And you can kind of dictate, if you just want it on Anchor only, you can do that, or you can just say everywhere. So that way you get more plays if you do everywhere. That way it shows up on iTunes and all the other apps that pull that syndication. All right, and then I'll just give it a name, episode. I'll say what Rich Dad all right, so I gave it a name, and I'm just say, hey, I was reflecting on my journey and remembered how much all it takes is one idea or thought to change your life. This is why your circle of influence is highly important. Okay, and then I also always put let's connect, and I'll say YouTube, and I'll do something like this. So I use on my website, I have a forwarding plugin. So I know I always want to track my traffic. So if someone clicks on this link from Anchor, I'll know that it came from Anchor. And when someone, I can know how much traffic I'm getting from this podcast. It's not all about the metrics, but you need to understand your reach and if it's effective. So I'll do something like that, and I might come back later and polish it up, but that's just for your purposes. And then boom, there it is. So now I have a full episode. And then if I go back to my dashboard, my page, just like you would, there it is. That's how simple it is to do your own podcast. So there's no excuses. If this was helpful, please comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll continue to try to bring you more tips that'll help your business, because it's a lot simpler these days than it used to be. You used to have a whole bunch of equipment and all that stuff. Now, if you want to get started today, go download an app and start talking. You'll get better. The more you do it, the better you'll get. I want to get to a point where I can record an episode like all the way through without stopping. Sometimes I do stop and I'll pause to get my thoughts together, and then I'll come back and finish it. And then in Audacity, what I normally do is say there's a big gap or a pause, I can just easily grab a section and then hit delete, and it's cleared out. Or if I don't like something, an and or a I don't get too detailed in it, but I can just easily chop something out. So hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.